In a village where time slows to the rhythm of the earth, lived two men with very different hearts. Andrew was a man of open doors and loud laughter. He believed that trust was a gift meant to be shared with everyone. He shared his joys and his plans with anyone who would listen, thinking every ear was a safe harbor for his dreams. Then there was Joel. He sat beneath the ancient oak, his silence as deep as the roots that held the earth together. He knew that words, once released, are like birds that rarely return to the hand. He watched, he listened, and he waited. In this village, trust was sacred, but even gold, if scattered too thin, loses its weight and its purpose. One afternoon, Andrew sought Joel's quiet corner. He had a new dream, a vision that burned like a hidden fire in his mind. "Joel," Andrew began, his voice sparking, "I have found a path, a secret that will change everything for my family." Joel didn't speak. He simply watched the shadows stretch, listening to the rhythm of Andrew's growing excitement. Andrew spoke of treasure and legacy, uncovering secrets he had found in the maps of the forgotten mountains. He felt light in sharing it, thinking that by speaking it aloud, the dream became more real, more tangible. But Joel saw the danger. "Andrew," he whispered, "trust is a bridge, but not every bridge is meant for every traveler." The next morning, the sun rose with a promise of warmth. But for Andrew, the secret he held felt heavier, even after speaking it to Joel. He felt the need for a different kind of listener, someone with tools, someone with ambition, someone like Thomas. Thomas was quick with a hammer and even quicker with a question. He knew the value of things, but rarely the value of silence. "Thomas," Andrew called out, his heart already racing. "I have something, a project, something that requires a man of your skills." Thomas leaned in, the sickle forgotten. He had a way of making you feel like the most important person in the world while he searched for your treasure. From beneath the oak, Joel watched the exchange. He saw the way Andrew's hands moved, the same way a man throws bread to the birds. Andrew didn't just share the dream this time. He shared the map. He shared the location of the hidden valley in the mountains. "A brilliant find, Andrew," Thomas exclaimed. "Don't you worry. Your secret is as safe with me as it is with the stone." But as Thomas turned away, his pace quickened. He didn't head for his tools. He headed for the tavern, where the town's talk was loudest. Joel approached Andrew as the shadows of the houses began to grow long. "Andrew," he said softly, "the wind has a long memory. Some ears are like sieves," Joel warned. "They catch the grain of your words, but let the gold of your silence slip through." Andrew laughed it off. But at that very moment, Thomas was already selling the map for a few pieces of silver, unaware of the storm brewing in the shadows. By the next sunset, the whispers had grown into a chorus. Everywhere Andrew turned, he felt the weight of eyes that knew his secret. The treasure that once filled him with light now felt like a stone around his neck. The joy of the discovery was gone, replaced by a cold dread. A stranger stopped him near the well. "I hear you found a path in the mountains," the man said, his voice like dry parchment. Andrew tried to laugh, tried to deny it. "You've heard wrong," he stammered. "It was just a story, a bit of village talk." The stranger just laughed. "The whole village is talking, Andrew. You can't put the sun back in a box once you've let it out." Dejected, Andrew sought the only place that still felt quiet. He found Joel exactly where he always was, beneath the ancient oak. "I should have listened," Andrew whispered, his voice breaking. "I thought I was sharing a dream, but I was only giving away my peace." Joel reached into his bag and pulled out a small, worn pillow. He carefully cut it open, revealing a handful of white feathers. "Take these to the village square," Joel instructed. "Release them to the wind, and let every feather find its own path." Andrew did as he was told. He watched as the hundreds of feathers danced away, disappearing into the nooks and crannies of the village. Joel appeared beside him. "Now," the old man said softly, "go and collect every single feather you have just released." Andrew looked at the empty square, then back at Joel, the realization dawning in his eyes. He had released something that could never be gathered back. Andrew watched from the village gate as a small army of men set out for the mountains, their hearts fueled by the map he had so carelessly given away. He felt as though a part of himself was being marched away, a piece of his soul that he could never reclaim. The discovery was no longer his. He found Joel by the river, where the water whispered over the stones. The old man was calm, as if the village's fever hadn't touched him at all. "They're going to find it, Joel." Andrew cried. "They're going to take everything I worked for, all because of my foolish tongue." Joel tossed another stone. "Bitterness, Andrew, is a poison you drink yourself, hoping your enemy will fall. It only harms the vessel that holds it." "The true treasure was never the gold," Joel whispered. "It was the peace you felt when the dream was only yours. That is what you truly gave away." Andrew looked at the ripples. He realized that his anger was just another way of letting the secret control him. He took a deep, steady breath. 7 days passed. The village held its breath, waiting for the return of the mountain travelers. Then, they appeared on the horizon. They were empty-handed. Their eyes were hollow, their spirits broken by the rugged peaks and the maps that led to nowhere. "You lied to us," Thomas roared, his voice trembling with rage. "The map was a trick. There is no valley, no treasure, nothing but rocks." Andrew looked at Thomas, then at the angry crowd. For the first time, he felt no need to explain, no need to defend, and no need to share. In his silence, Andrew found the treasure he thought he had lost. He had learned the power of withholding. He was finally free. The village square returned to its quiet rhythm. The anger of the mountain expedition had faded into a story told over tea, but for Andrew, everything had changed. He sat once more with Joel beneath the great oak. The silence between them was no longer awkward or heavy. It was a bridge. "Joel," Andrew asked softly, "you knew the map was old and incomplete. Why didn't you stop me from sharing it? Why let me fail?" Joel watched a leaf spiral to the ground. "Wisdom, Andrew, is not a gift that can be handed over. It is a path that must be walked, even through the thorns. You have learned that not every ear is a harbor, and not every heart is a home. Guard your silence as you guard your life." Andrew nodded. The fire in his heart was no longer a wild blaze for others to see. It was a steady, warm hearth that kept him whole. And so, the village slept, its secrets safe within its walls, and one man's heart finally found the wealth it had been searching for. Long, reflective pause. Silence is the soil in which the soul grows. When we share everything, we leave no room for the spirit to rest. I leave you with this. In your own walk of faith, have you ever found that your greatest strength came from the things you chose not to say? Take a moment to reflect on your journey. Please share your answer or your thoughts in the comment section below. We grow best when we reflect together. If this story spoke to your heart today, please subscribe to our channel, share this video with someone who needs it, and join our community of wisdom. Thank you for listening.